Welcome. Thank you for joining me today to discuss Spoke, which is Clearly Cloud's portal for integrating Clearly Cloud with almost any application in the world. I'm Bob Webb, CBDO at Clearly IP. I just had my 1 year anniversary, but I've been in the telecom business since 1992. I'm joined today by Eduardo Abad, product manager at Clearly IP. Eduardo has a master's degree in telecommunications from the University of Pittsburgh and has been working professionally with unified communications for more than 15 years. Here's what we're going to talk about today. First, I'm going to give a brief introduction to Clearly IP and our product set. Next, I'll discuss Spoke and what it means to integrate software with Clearly Cloud. I'll discuss the three existing applications that are managed by Spoke, which are Webhooks, Zapier, and Zoho PhoneBridge. After that, Eduardo will demo the webhooks and Zapier integrations. Then I will talk about some new functionality called Screen Pops that was just released and what to expect with future releases. Hint, we are working on Salesforce.com. Finally, we'll highlight our next webinar and take questions and answers. One thing is we always like to highlight with new development, just like with the AI integration last quarter, Spoke is included with Clearly Cloud at no additional cost. Who is Clearly IP and what do we do? Clearly IP is a VoIP provider. We were founded in 2019 by a team of VoIP industry leaders. We are a growth company. We focus on organic growth that results from constantly improving our products and working creatively and cooperatively with our resellers. We are also active with mergers and acquisitions and have acquired 8 companies in our first 5 years. Our flagship product is Clearly Cloud, our highly distributed and feature-rich UCaaS platform, which we will be talking about and demoing today. It is complemented by Clearly Anywhere, our mobile soft phone, which is included with Clearly Cloud and available for purchase on free PBX platforms. Clearly IP offers a best-in-class SIP trunking platform. It's easy to order, easy to configure. Clearly IP also offers ComExchange, which is a purpose-built PBX for the hospitality industry. ComExchange operates as an on-premise PBX, a hosted PBX, or in hybrid mode. ComExchange is installed in more than 1,800 hotels, serving more than 400,000 hotel rooms nationwide. Clearly IP is also a device manufacturer of superior gateways and IP phones, which we sell directly to our partners at great prices. This includes our 4G failover gateway for POTS replacement and Cloud PBX failover. Our SendFax 2 platform, which is a fax to email solution, our Codex emergency alert system, our Cloud device manager system for phone provisioning, and our panic button for Alyssa's Law compliance complement our core product solutions. We regularly host product-specific webinars on all these products. Previous webinars are available on YouTube. What is a Clearly Cloud integration? An integration in Clearly Cloud is a menu option. It's not hidden in an API file or in documentation. The client administrator selects to implement an integration. An integration is a trigger-based solution. The administrator will select what triggers to enable, resulting in webhook messages. These messages will be sent to the software platform selected and configured in Spoke. Triggers can be set at the queue, ring group, or user level and can happen when a call rings or is answered, or for users when an outbound call is made. An URL of media for either voicemail messages or call recordings can be included in the content of the messages. What is Spoke? Spoke is a management portal for Clearly Cloud integration. It lists all the available applications supported by Clearly Cloud. It lists all the active applications already implemented by the administrator, and it is where new applications are configured and maintained. How does it work? The graphic makes it very clear. Clearly Cloud talks to Spoke, Spoke talks to the supported applications. Again, there are 3 supported applications today: Zoho PhoneBridge, generic webhooks, and Zapier. There are more coming. First supported application we are going to talk about is Zoho PhoneBridge. Zoho PhoneBridge is a very specific integration developed by Zoho for both its CRM and desk apps. It provides click-to-dial functionality and pop-ups for note-taking on inbound and outbound calls. We are not going to demo PhoneBridge today because we use Zoho internally, and actually this webinar is a Zoho webinar. With all of that Zoho activity, we make ourselves dizzy demonstrating it in a concurrent test system. However, Tony Lewis, our fearless leader, did a Zoho PhoneBridge webinar a few months ago, and that is available on YouTube. Webhook and Webhook Tester. A webhook is a way for applications to communicate with each other in real time by sending data over HTTP in response to specific events. Webhooks are different from APIs, or perhaps a very specific and user-friendly type of API. Webhooks are the fundamental building blocks of Clearly Cloud integrations and Spoke. Webhook testers are websites that accept and display webhooks, and in this demo, stand in for a custom application that you might be looking to integrate. Eduardo will be demoing a webhook tester today. Zapier and Zaps. Zapier is a web automation tool that connects apps and services to automate repetitive tasks without coding. Zapier can be used to move information from one app to another automatically. Zapier integrates with Clearly Cloud and Google Sheets, Slack, Filter, which is a Zapier app, and 1,000 more applications that many of which you're already familiar. A specific integration in Zapier is called a Zap. There are pre-built Zaps and Zap templates. Eduardo will be demonstrating 2 different Clearly Cloud Zaps today. So let's go to the live demo. Eduardo?
Thank you, Bob. I'm going to start sharing my screen for the live demo. Okay, so here we are in Clearly Cloud instance for this demo. In the left menu, there will be an integrations menu option right below inbound caller ID and above music on hold. This is where the admin will enable the integration. So first thing will be to click here to link your account. This will bring up this window for Clearly IP single sign-on. You just log in with your single sign-on credentials of Clearly IP to enable the Spoke integration with that instance. Once that's enabled, as you see here, you just are able to enable the integration itself here for this instance. And in different categories, queues, ring groups, and users, you can be as specific as you want for enabling or disabling the integrations. That means sending webhooks for these different events. For example, queue calls, inbound notifications whenever you answer a queue call or a queue call is ringing, or you can leave it disabled. For this demo, we will enable everything and on answer. So whenever a queue call is, in this example, is answered, you will send a webhook message that we can see and monitor later in the demo here with this webhook tester online. But in any case, I'm going to enable everything here for queues, for ring groups, the same enabled and on answer, send recordings enabled, user enable inbound call notifications on answer, outbound enable send call recordings, and send voicemails. What we are doing here is to share webhooks messages whenever any of these events occur, be it on queue calls, ring group calls, or user calls. And in the case of users, even voicemail messages can be shared via the webhooks. So let me save here. And now here in the top, you see this link. You press here to open the Spoke portal, where here is the place where you can see the different applications. Mainly those 3 that you see here in the screen are available for configuring and integrating with your Clearly Cloud instance. And also you will be able to see past integrations of a specific Clearly Cloud instance. For example, this instance is already integrated with Zoho CRM and with webhooks, and that same instance is also with webhooks, and that same instance is already integrated with Zapier. That's a different instance than the one we're using today for the demo. So let me create a new integration right here. Like Bob mentioned, Zoho CRM is mainly integrating with PhoneBridge. We won't be demoing that now today, but it's mainly basically click to dial and call pop-ups for incoming or outgoing calls to take notes, and for every single call with every contact in the CRM, and also for click to dial. But what we will be showing now is the webhooks themselves, the traffic of the webhooks, and the Zapier integration. So let's start with webhooks, connect, and you will select the instance you want to integrate with. This is the instance Clearly Cloud I'm allowing this integration with. And you see here at the bottom, now it appears here. I can delete it, change settings. We wouldn't normally want to change any settings here, but what we can do is manage. And this is important, this step. We basically enable for calls, and for media, we have different webhooks. So add a new call webhook. You can be as specific as needed to what you want to integrate with. For this demo, I'm going to select everything as you see. So every incoming call, outgoing call, and all these call status will generate webhook messages. And this monitor tool that we're seeing right now on the screen is one of various third-party tools that you can use to verify the webhook traffic, the webhook messages. This is just one of those, but it's a free online tool for this. But you can monitor with any other online tool or your own tools for monitoring the webhook traffic and messages. So I just added a webhook, and at the same time, I'm going to add media webhooks. This means sharing voicemail and call recording to that same URL, for example. Okay, now that I have that integrated, I can go ahead and do a new call, and we should be able to see here live activity of the webhook, meaning every new call, the status, the call is ringing, the call has been answered, the call has ended, and even if the call was recorded, it will show the URL of the file of the call recording. So let me go ahead and do just that now. I'm going to call from my mobile phone, Clearly Anywhere phone app, to call a DID number that will start bringing this user Alice in this Clearly Cloud instance. Let me dial that number. So it will generate this new call, and at the same time, we can see incoming call is ringing. And now the call has been answered. Let me mute myself to prevent any echo. Okay, so if I go back to here to the webhook, there's another new event here. Incoming call has been answered, and you can see the caller ID name of the source of the call, the caller ID number of that source of the call, timestamp, so date and time of the event. Now I'm going to go ahead and end the call, and this should update with the new event of ending the call. And the last event is of the sharing of the URL of the call recording. So you see here, that same call now ended. And in the next event here is the attachment, the audio file. If you go to this URL, you will hear that audio file. You can download that audio file. So that's mainly what we do behind curtains, let's say on the background, is this webhook transactions and traffic. So every Zapier integration, CRM, like Zoho CRM integration that we have in place, uses the webhooks. So this is what is going on behind the curtains, let's say. And that's what we wanted to show for the developers out there to know that part. And next, what we wanted to show also is the integration with Zapier. So let me click here again to open the Spoke portal once again. You see, now I want to integrate with Zapier. Click here to connect. Okay, now it's connected, and I can go ahead and create a new SAP. So if I click here, my SAPs are already logging in Zapier. I click to my SAPs, and I see previously configured SAPs. This is one we wanted to show. It's basically there. It's a trigger. The Clearly Cloud SAP has this SAP has a trigger with Clearly Cloud. Whenever there's a new recording, new media you see, then it goes to ChatGPT for call transcription. So what this SAP does is every call recording, it will transcribe the call recording and add that into a row in a Google spreadsheet, in a Google Sheet spreadsheet. So those three steps. First one is the triggers, the new call recorded. The next one is to obtain the transcription out of that recording. And the last step, the last action is to insert into a call in a Google Sheet that is this Google Sheet, that recording. So if I go back here to the SAP, we can see all how it has been configured previously. And it's basically giving permissions and adding the steps. So if I go here to the setup of this step, the transcription, you will see that I added my ChatGPT account, and then the media file URL that we saw before, it's added here. So with that, the ChatGPT action can get the audio file and transcribe it. And then you can see here in the content. So these are the different columns of the spreadsheet. First, the date and time, then the source caller ID name, source caller ID number, destination caller ID name, destination caller ID number, and the transcription, the text, the recorded call now in text. That's what is here already here. So those are the columns, and you can see if I make a new call that's been recorded, it should automatically send put that information, date and time, information of the source, of information of the destination, and the transcription of the audio of the call. And that's one that we already have, one SAP that we already had created. Let me create a new one right here from scratch. So let me here in the top right, you see create a new SAP. Basically, the trigger will always be clearly cloud in these examples. So you see there are over 7,000 apps already integrated in Zapier. You see some popular ones here: Google Calendar, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Drive, Gmail, Slack, Zoho CRM, many other different CRMs are there, Facebook. A lot of integrations already in place, including Clearly Cloud. So if I put Clearly Cloud, I see this one, I select that one, and that's the trigger. What's the event? A new call or a new media? In this case, we want to create an email notification of every time we miss a call from an important customer. A certain important customer with their own caller ID will trigger to send us an email notifying that. Not every single missed call, but only the calls from that customer, very important customer. So new call, it will be the trigger. The account already would be this one that we already have. I'm sorry, connect new account because it's a new integration. And this will pop up. And just select the clear the cloud instance and authorize. Okay, it's authorized. The next step, call type incoming call, but status would be, you can have different status that we have available here. It will be missed. Those status were the same that when we were configuring in the Spoke portal, there was a list of check marks of the call status. Those are the same that we see here. So I select missed for this SAP, and then it will allow me to test every step of the way. The Zapier will prompt you to test. And okay, so we have the 3 latest events for this. A missed call, it's okay. So I could use any of these. It doesn't matter. These are just for validating. Then continue with selected. Then the next will be filter out just a single caller ID, not every missed call, but only continue if new call. Okay. Only continue if a new call, the caller ID of that call ends with, let's say, and the caller ID number, I can check it here from my call history. Basically, it's this caller ID number from where we will be doing the test. So, and I could add additional validations, and not only is from this caller ID, but it reaches this extension number, for example. But for this example, it's only doesn't matter who this person called, as long as there's a missed call from that very important customer. Then we want to trigger sending an email notifying that. Press continue. It tested and it validated that yes, then the caller ID of the missed call had ended with those 10-digit numbers. In this case, not the first one, but the other digits are there. So it validated with the call we selected for the test. And then we click continue. And the last trigger, the last action will be after this validation, it will be to send an email. Basically, here are the different actions with Gmail. Let's say send email. The account, I already have it here, my email. Continue to, for example, I will send it to this account. Let me copy my email address of this account. You can copy, blind copy from name, let's say from name, clearly cloud, and the subject missed call from, let's say, customer ABC. Okay, body type plain or HTML for the email. We can do it plain text. You have a missed call from customer ABC. Call date and time. You can put this will enter the actual date and time of that moment in human readable form. So that will be included in the email, and also caller ID. And you can add here, clicking here, you can set from your new call, from extension or number, and you will adding that to the body of the email. Then the other things are optional. Just mandatory is the ones that have a red asterisk there. Okay, continue. So we can test now, and I should have received an email by now. A new email for the test. You see here, it just arrived. But this was just when creating the SAP. If we want to show an actual email from an actual missed call, we need to publish the SAP. So I'm not going to do that just now. First, let's put in a name. Missed, let's say call from customer ABC. Okay, publish. Okay, if I go back to SAPs, I see that latest SAP created here. And then the next thing will be just to miss a call. And then I should receive an email. So I'm going to call that number again. But after a little while, I'll hang up. Answer, I just hang up. And if the SAP has already been published properly, it should show a new email coming from notifying me that the call was missed. Okay, yes, the email is here, and this is the proper one. Okay, so that's two Zapier example apps that we wanted to show, all possible thanks to the webhook integration we have with Spoke, and the Clearly Cloud integrated to Spoke, that allows those integrations with Zapier or directly with any other platform using directly the webhooks. Of course, any CRM, any ERP, any business intelligence system, or any other solution you can think of that want to integrate with that can use webhooks, then it will be possible with this. And if it's something that is already integrated in Zapier and you can go that way as well, it's perhaps a little bit easier, less development knowledge, but of course there's also the webhooks available for any type of integration with any system that already supports webhooks. That's what we wanted to show to you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Eduardo. So what we want to cover as we wrap this up is talk about what's here and what's coming next. What's here today, but not in our demo, are screen pops. Screen pops leverage pretty much all the same technology that we've discussed today. Screen pops can trigger at the user's ring groups and calling queue levels. They pop on ringing or answer, and they manifest themselves as simple HTTP GET messages that you can configure right in Clearly Cloud or even in Call Panel. The configured URL can reference your CRM or any other web page that can be launched with string data related to an inbound call. Look for a webinar on this soon. What's next in integrations is more CRMs, beginning with Salesforce.com. That's at the top of our list. Please join us on 11/13 for our next Clearly Cloud Partner Training and on December 12th for a webinar discussing partnering with Clearly IP. Finally, we're ready to take any questions you have. We'll do our best to answer those questions. What we can't answer today, we will get back to you tonight or tomorrow with the answers. Also, I just want to remind everybody that we have a very, very in-depth knowledge base at kb.clearlyip.com. It's available with documentation on everything related to Clearly Cloud. And we'll go to questions. Hello, is Spoke a third-party integration or a Clearly IP product? Spoke is our development. It's a Clearly IP product. So it's the glue that brings this whole thing together, was developed by our engineers in-house. Are there any other questions? You said you were working to integrate Salesforce. Will Dynamics 365 CRM be the next one after that? I don't I don't know if it's going to be the next one. There's a very popular one among MSPs that's also on our list. I can't think of the name because of the C right now. But we will keep you posted and we will announce the integrations as they come out. If you're really interested in it and you have an opportunity based on it, if you want to send me an email or at sales@clearlyip.com, or it's just bweb@clearlyip.com, send it to me, and if there's an opportunity or a business reason, we'll take a look at it. Any other questions? I'll just wait 1 minute. Otherwise, we really is a fun new feature. You can do a lot of cool things, stupid clearly cloud tricks, if you will, anything you want to do with both Zapier and Webhooks. And we hope you enjoyed today's webinar discussing it. All right, enjoy the rest of our afternoon, and thank you very much.